What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is my updated guide on how to find your perfect sensitivity in Fortnite. Sensitivity is a crucial aspect of anyone's gameplay, and having a suboptimal sensitivity can easily cause you to lose some super easy fights simply due to poor aim. So that's why, guys, in today's video, I'll be giving you guys 3 different methods to find your perfect sensitivity in Fortnite and start improving quickly. Before we get into it though, be sure to drop a like if the video helps you out, and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. As well as that, consider using code Teckoh in the item shop, as it's 100% free and it really helps your boy out a ton. And lastly, guys, I actually have one more quick announcement before we get into the video. As you guys may have seen in the comments, I've gotten a lot of questions about coaching and a lot of requests for me to actually go and coach people one-on-one. And I recently decided that I'm actually going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to start one-on-one private coaching. So if you're interested in working with me directly to improve your gameplay, whether you're a total beginner or a competitive player or anywhere in between, then I'll be putting a link near the top of the description to the form where you can sign up and get in touch. I'm super excited to get in and help some of you guys out directly, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But with that said, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So starting off this video, we're going to begin with one of the most common methods used specifically for mouse and keyboard, and that's the 360 method. The 360 method has been around for at least a couple of years at this point. It's one of the most popular methods, and it's pretty much always been the most consistent way to find a somewhat middle ground sensitivity that isn't super slow and isn't super fast. However, as I said, the 360 method is only for mouse and keyboard, so if you are on controller, simply skip to the timestamp on screen right now, since the next method is going to include controller as well. Getting into the 360 method itself, the method is actually super simple. The first thing you're going to want to know is your usable mouse space, basically meaning the maximum distance of left and right that you can move your mouse. So by that, I basically mean you'll be swiping your mouse across the entire area of your mouse pad that you can actually use for your mouse. From there, hop into Fortnite, preferably in a regular creative match, and do a full 360-degree turn with your character. And your goal now is basically to reach the point where swiping the mouse across your entire usable mouse pad space results in a 360-degree turn for your character. It'll probably take a couple of minutes to narrow down your sensitivity, but what you'll end up with is a middle ground sensitivity that should serve you really well. From there, once you've gotten your 360 sensitivity, the 360 method is done. From there, you can basically just feel out that sensitivity and tweak it as necessary. Some of you might like a higher sensitivity that makes it a bit easier to have crazy mechanics, while some of you might like a lower sensitivity where you can have crazy tracking aim and whatnot, and some of you might just like the regular sensitivity that you get from using the method. Ultimately though, the goal with the 360 method is to get you to a nice middle ground sensitivity, and then you can adjust from there. Moving on from that though, our next method is going to be something that works for all platforms, and it's called the PSA method. What the PSA method does is basically helps you narrow down to the exact sensitivity you like. The first step to this process is going to be to head down into the description and find the place where it says PSA Method Calculator. Right next to those words, it's going to be a link, so you're going to want to click on that link and you should see a very simple web page. What you'll want to do from here is hop into Fortnite. You can choose whether to do real games, 1v1s, or just solo creative practice for this. I personally recommend 1v1s or solo creative practice. Once you're in creative, you're going to want to start off by going to the PSA Method Calculator and inputting your current sensitivity. You're going to put that into the starting sensitivity category, and obviously that's just going to be whatever sensitivity you're currently using. And then under iteration 1, select whether you want a lower or higher sensitivity than you're currently using. So for example, if I put in 20% as my current sensitivity and I select higher, then I'm going to want to try using the base value in the table, which you can see is 25. So I'll try out 25% for a little bit, and then I'll let the PSA Method Calculator know whether I want it lower or higher, on, and basically eventually after making enough selections, the calculator is going to narrow it down to my PSA or my perfect sensitivity approximation. This whole process shouldn't really take more than 15 minutes if you're in creative, and basically it's going to require you to do it 7 times. The PSA method is super straightforward. It's basically just a more specific trial and error where you're actually able to narrow it down to a precise sensitivity. The PSA method basically allows you to narrow down your sensitivity all the way down through your own choices, whereas most other options require a lot of guesswork, which can make it really difficult. On the other hand, this makes it really simple to find your perfect sensitivity. So overall, the PSA method is a fantastic option to find your best sensitivity, and I recommend you give it a shot for sure. Lastly, guys, getting into our third and final method to find your perfect sensitivity in Fortnite, the last method is going to be what I call the Copycat Method. As you might expect, the Copycat Method basically requires you to copy something, and in this case, that's going to be a pro sensitivity. Obviously, being professional players, pros tend to have pretty solid settings, and if you're struggling to find your perfect sensitivity, it might be worth browsing around to see what the pros use and seeing what sticks. For the most part, you can go into pretty much any major pros Twitch chat, type in !sensitivity or !sense, and after a couple of seconds, it'll pop up with whatever they use in game. In my case, as you can see on screen, the bot sent a clip that shows it, but the premise still stands. So what this method consists of is basically just trying out various sensitivities from pros and seeing what works for you. It's very straightforward, and although I personally prefer using the PSA method or the 360 method since they're both really personalized, I think that a lot of you guys can still benefit a lot from the variety that this method would bring you. So if you find yourself struggling, search around, try out a few sensitivities, sensitivities and see where it takes you. But with all that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on how to find your perfect sensitivity in Fortnite. Overall, the process of finding a sensitivity is super simple. All you have to do is select one of the 3 methods in this video, go through it fully, and you should ultimately find a sensitivity that works really well for you. If you found this video helpful, then be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. As well as that, if you want to help out a bit extra, then consider using code Teckoh in the item shop, as it's 100% free and it seriously helps me out a ton. And lastly, guys, if you're interested in doing paid one-on-one coaching, I will have that link near the top of the description as well. Thank you all for watching this video though, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.